The town of Havenwood was quiet, peaceful. Sundays meant church. The bells tolled a familiar sound. They echoed through the streets. The townsfolk, dressed in their Sunday best, walked a familiar path. His replacement arrived on a day much like any other. The sky was clear, the air still. But the arrival of Pastor John marked a change, a subtle shift in the atmosphere. He was young, charismatic, with eyes that seemed to burn with fervent zeal.
His sermons were different. They were captivating, powerful, filled with a fiery passion that resonated deep within the congregation.
The change was subtle at first. A shift in the hymns, a new intensity in Pastor John's sermons. Then came the whispers. Talk of strange rituals late at night in the church. Talk of prayers that sounded more like incantations. Talk of dark shapes moving in the woods surrounding the church. Fear like a serpent began to coil around the hearts of the townsfolk. The once comforting routines now seemed laced with dread. The hymns, once a source of comfort, now echoed with an unspoken terror. Still, they went to church. Still they listened. Pastor John held them captive.
Rachel, a young woman known for her unwavering faith, found herself plagued by nightmares. Images of Pastor John, his eyes burning with an unholy light, chanting in an unknown language. She tried to brush it off, tried to cling to the comforting familiarity of her faith, but the dread lingered.
One evening, unable to shake off the growing unease, Rachel went to see Pastor John. His office was dark, lit only by a single candle that flickered ominously on his desk. He sat facing the window, his back to her. When he turned, his eyes held a strange light. His smile sent shivers down her spine.
He spoke of her fear, her doubts. His voice was a low murmur that seemed to slither around the room.
He placed a hand on hers, cold and clammy. He leaned closer, his breath hot on her cheek. Then he began to change.
His skin turned a sickly grey. His eyes became black pits. His teeth lengthened into sharp fangs. Rachel screamed, scrambling back. She saw the truth now, saw the monster hiding beneath the skin of the pastor. She fled, the pastor's laughter, a chilling sound echoing in her ears.
The next morning, the church was empty. The doors to Pastor John's office stood wide open. The elders found nothing. No sign of struggle, no sign of Pastor John. Only an empty room and a lingering sense of unease that settled over Havenwood like a shroud. The pastor was gone, but the fear remained.